Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. November 3rd, and look at that day. We've had this all week. Unbelievable. Keep it coming. Still beautiful to drive right now. Although we are in farming community here, and they're starting to work the fields, so clay and junk on the road, so kind of got to pick your spot, but still nice to have the cars up. I've seen online people asking what would be a better car if you had the choice of the Zl1 or the C8 Corvette, and I guess it depends on what you're really looking for. I'm fortunate to have both of them, and I absolutely love them both. One to me is a little more of a track focused car, which is the Camaro, and the other one, the Vette, is a kind of a complete car, really. It's a beautiful daily driver. It's exotic looking. The sound is incredible. It's still decent on track. And if you were to ask me if I had to choose between the two of them, I would take the Corvette, I think. But after what I'm about to say in this review, you'll probably be surprised by that answer, just given how much I do like the Zl1. So let's get into it. Exterior styling. I don't think you can question the difference between the Camaro and the Corvette in terms of which looks nicer. I think the Corvette is an absolute weapon. It looks so good. The mid-engine platform makes it look so exotic, especially from the rear view. I think this is just an absolute killer look. I love the way the back fenders flare out and the curvatures in along the trunk line in here. The cutouts and the louvers to remove some of the heat from the engine bay. The rear spoiler and how it comes up and acts like a ducktail right in here. I mean, everything is just so functional. Everything has purpose. You have all these cooling ducts in here that take air from inside the wheel well and extract it out the back for downforce. You got side skirts for aero on track. You got a front splitter in the front, and you have dive planes up in here, even right below this little area here. There's some dive planes in there. The splitter comes out a little further, so really nicely done for aero, and just a really nice looking car. In terms of seating and comfort, I have to give it to the Camaro. The seats in the Camaro are the Recaros with the micro suede inserts that allow for heated and ventilated function. And the ventilated part on the Camaro compared to the Vette is nicer for sure. And overall, I found they're a more comfortable seat. Just beautifully placed. Great bolstering right up in the side here. And really nice on the thighs too. Not adjustable like in the competition seats on the Corvette, but to me, adjustable headrest, which is very nice too, and the Vette doesn't have that. They're fixed. So you have the adjustability in the Zl1, which is nice, and just for me a nicer place to be. In terms of ergonomics, I mean, the sight lines in the Camaro are very restricted. I mean, everybody knows that. And it becomes a problem, I find, when you're city driving the car. If you're going into a parking lot, because you're sitting so low in the car, I mean, even if you bring the seat position up, you have this box, that retro dash that they've put in, which I'm not a big fan of. It just is so intrusive of your view outwards. It's kind of silly, really. It doesn't really give you anything else, a larger viewing area by doing anything like that. It's a retro look, and I think they could have done something nicer than that. But in any event, and the high hood, of course, takes away from your forward visibility. And if you're coming into a parking lot and then you want to navigate through different parts of that, it's hard to see curbs, and if anything should be lying in front of you. So if it had a 360-degree camera, I think it would resolve that, but it doesn't, and that is a problem for me. So in terms of easier car to drive on street and city use, the Corvette by far. Interior quality, definitely goes to the C8. This is still a nice car based on its price point of $76,000. Not that it's cheap, but compared to anything, $130,000 down, this thing blows everything away performance-wise. It is an absolute beast, and surprises so many cars. M3's out on track. GTS AMGs out on track. They just, look in their mirror thinking, here comes a Camaro. Next thing you know, they got to wave you by. These things are incredible. And very stable car too. This is not just a hairline, fear for your life type ride. This is a controlled, planted, extremely satisfying ride. So absolutely no regrets with this. It does have some Alcantara inside as well, up here and underneath the, on top of the door sills. There's some Alcantara there as well. The seats, as mentioned, are all micro suede. Not too many soft touch features anywhere else in the car, but I really don't have that many gripes. I really do like the steering wheel too. The functions on it are just nice, and I prefer the steering wheel in the Camaro over the C8 Vet. So we will jump right into the C8 now, just so you can kind of get an appreciation for the difference in overall quality. I think my favorite part of the Camaro is this carbon fiber heat extractor. I think that looks so nice on the car. Beautiful. So when we approach the C8, you can see immediately, the layout and the choice of materials used are just such a step up. The moment you walk in towards the car, it's just everything pops out so nicely. And when you jump in, you can see, the quality of the materials in here. Keep in mind, this is a $101,000 car. If you're jumping into, $170,000, this is comparing to $170,000 cars. So I think for the price point, it's just unbeatable, really. An absolutely incredible car. So this one's got the competition seats, so you can really see the aggressive bolstering up here and down where the thighs are, and these are adjustable in here. Again, carbon fiber inlay on the seat itself, which is nice. Fixed headrest though, which is not something that I'm real big on. I'm a short guy, so it's not too bad, but if I was a taller driver, it would probably be an issue for me. And it's got Alcantara on the pillars here. This one's got the translucent roof. And ergonomically, all the layouts are very nicely done on this one too. If you people can get a little intimidated initially because there's a lot of functions in here, but your primary ones are ones that have a little elevation to the switch itself. So there's like a little rise on the heat up and down, and then if you just slide your hand down, the next one is going to be your fan speed. So you don't necessarily have to be distracted by looking at the buttons. You just kind of get to know where they are after time, which is perfectly fine. And this one here too, when you're looking out the front window on this, you can see the sight lines are so much better than the Camaro. There's nothing in the way. You get a nice little line of sight through the mirrors too, which is helpful in making turns in the city. So this is just a nicer place to be. I guess, when it comes down to which car one would like, it all comes down to performance. Performance falls under a number of things. What is performance? Performance falls to, you have the engine, you got brakes, you got handling, tires, exhaust, lap times, 0 to 60 times. These are all factors that determine, performance and things that people look for when making a decision on buying the car. In terms of performance on the engine, I have to give it to the Zl1. The Zl1 is considerably quicker on track, like when I'm going down straights at Calabogie on the front and back, I am hitting almost 20 kilometers more in this car. We're not talking 0 to 60 times here. We're talking about all-out acceleration when the car is moving. So if I'm coming out of a corner at say 70 kilometers an hour and I come into that straight stretch, I'm 20 kilometers an hour quicker in the Camaro. That's just what horsepower does. This has got 650 horsepower. The Corvette's got 495. So got to give the thumbs up on the engine performance to the Camaro. As far as brakes go, got to go to the Camaro again. Bigger brakes on the Camaro. I mean, if you look at the size of the rotors in the back, and then on the front, these things are huge. Look at that. That's 14 inches of rotor surface on the front of the car. And then if we go over to the Corvette, I mean, these are still a very nice size brakes, but they're not near as big as the Camaro. And it's noticeable on track. I have to put more pressure on the pedal to get the same stopping power to slow down. And I'm not even going at the same speed as I am in the Camaro. So brakes definitely go to the ZL1. If you're looking for tires as part of that performance, these on the Camaro are absolutely wonderful. ZL1 has the Goodyear Supercar 3, which is a 200 tread wear, and they both use the same rear tire size, 305 30/20s on the back, but you have a 275 20 on the front, and the Corvette has got a 245 19 on the front, so way smaller tire. And that just provides more stability, I find, in the Camaro. Exhaust, really no comparison at all. The C8 with the performance exhaust sounds like a race car at startup. It is incredible. The sound just makes me smile every time it fires up. And when you're on track and under full acceleration all the time, this thing is popping and banging. The Zl1 still has a nice tone, but as far as exhaust note goes, C8 all the way. Handling, both cars are very neutral. But again, I have to give it to the Zl1. It is the alpha platform that has been in place for a few years now, and they have it dialed in really good. In fact, if you go with the Zl1 1LE, that is taking down cars that are 3 times the price. I mean, you're taking down McLarens with the 1LE. So this car right here was running with a GT3 RS and finally got to overtake him on the 9th lap. So that's something to be said for this Camaro platform. And in terms of confidence inspiring, I have to give it to the Camaro. If I did the track alignment on the C8 and put a little more time in it, maybe, but I'm still giving the nod to the Camaro here. Lap times, 1 second quicker in the Camaro. I've taken the same lines, same track conditions, clear laps, and I'm getting 1 second quicker in the Camaro. So nod goes to the Camaro again on that one. 0 to 60 times, no comparison. You put the C8 in launch control, and here's my dog, same color as my car. Put the thing in launch control, and it dusts it. There's no comparison. It's I think they're claiming 2.7 or something. Some guys might even running a little lower. We'll do a little run today. I'm not going to do launch control because it's November. There's no point. We won't see good times, but between the two cars, the 0 to 60 is definitely better in the Corvette. I think that pretty much summarizes everything up and everything I wanted to talk about today. So 2 fantastic cars. Kudos to GM for making these products. And I hope they continue down this path. Such a nice thing to see that new Z06 coming out. That is going to be an insane car. I would have really liked it if they would have, the flat plane crank with that wicked sound engine is going to be something else, but it would have been so cool if they would have put the 765 horsepower ZR1 motor in it just to see. I think that would have been a crazy car. And if, with the rubber size they're putting down and the suspension tweaks, I think they finally got a car that can, with a chassis that can handle that kind of power. So that's going to be really neat to see. And with the Camaro, who knows what's going to happen with it. They're talking possibly 24 to the end of that one. So I'm going to hang on to this car just because there's definitely going to be some collectability to it. And it is such a great value that it'll continue to be in my garage for some time yet. And I have so much fun on track with it. And I'll continue to work with this car a little more to try to bring the lap times down too. So I hope you enjoyed this, and hope you enjoy the little rides we're going to do. All right, we're going to do a little turnaround here. Give you an idea. So you can see how this thing just accelerates like a bat out of hell. Completely stable. I got the car up to operating temperature, but the tires are not even warm, of course. And it's just struggling for traction. But the car never kicks out once. Just a super, super stable feel. And so confidence inspiring. We're coming 121 kilometers an hour, stop sign here. Don't even have to hit the brakes hard. Downshift with rev match. 100 kilometers an hour in third gear. We'll just pin it. Absolute beast. Absolute beast. Seems to be a lot of traffic today. We have to be very careful. One good thing about being on track is it gets this kind of stuff out of your system for the most part. And then, you're cruising along at 120 kilometers an hour. In 6th gear, the tach is at about 1,600 RPM. Decent on fuel. Right now we're averaging 13 liters per hour, just to give you an idea, coming into this corner in my driveway. There we are, boys. That was fun. Okay, we're going to do a turnaround, the same spot as we did in the Zl1. So I found the getting up to speed there. Steering felt a little light on the C8. Zl1 at that speed to me seemed more planted in the Camaro. So both cars are rockets. Extremely well balanced, very stable feeling. I mean, I can't say enough good things about either one of them. Both wonderful, wonderful cars. Not too sure I'm going to take that same kind of speed going into the entrance, just given how easily we can work out there. As I said, today's not a warm day. The tires are not warm at all, so I don't want to push it too far. We'll let you hear the downshifts coming into this corner. There we have it, boys.